Hi there and welcome. Nic Watson here. And today I wanted to tackle the subject of stress. So often I hear, this, I'm really stressed, I'm so stressed. And people, when I ask them, what does that actually mean? They just kind of give me the answer of, I'm so stressed. What it means, in my opinion, is that in their nervous system, they have become too much in towards a sympathetic nervous system activation. So we need to imagine our nervous system not as an on-off switch, but more like a dimmer switch. And we have the sympathetic nervous system, which is we are really activated. We can't settle, the blood is pumping, the heart is faster, the eyes are dilated, and it's just generally experienced as agitation. And the other end of that dimmer switch is the parasympathetic nervous system, which is where we can, sometimes it's known as rest and digest. That is such a kind of quick way of describing it. But it's where the body can mend itself and heal itself. It's where the immune system can work, the reproductive system can work, and the digestive system can work. So imagining that during a healthy life, we would normally be kind of in and out of activated and then resting, activated, resting. This is happening in a healthy human being. But for most of us, and anyone who's lived through 2020 and the aftermath of that year, we are a little skewed towards the sympathetic activation. And beyond that, there's many stimulants that, are kind of pinging us and always sending us into this direction, whether it's messages on your phone, emails, and then of course, just general life stuff. So I think of a practice being able to just gently bring us back to a central point, which is not a fixed point, but a place where we can be alert enough, we can be in the sympathetic nervous system enough to drive our cars, to do our jobs, to manage life. And we're also able to rest and procreate and do all the fun stuff. So if you're feeling a little bit like you're stuck in the end point of sympathetic, then today's meditation is going to be taking us back to something that is real moment, real time, and that is the body. So we're going to do a body scan, and I invite you to find a comfortable seat and make sure that you have no distractions, right? If we're trying to bring that needle down a little bit, right, bring it back to the central point, then any kind of distractions when you're meditating is going to fire you back in that other direction. So turn off your phones and any alerts and so on. Close your doors and make sure that you are in a place that feels comfortable. And then once you've done that, you can be sitting on a chair or even lying down, it's okay. And I'd like you just to commit, for the sake of your health, for the sake of your body, to the next 15 minutes or so where we bring our attention out of the mind and where the mind can go, and our worries and our fears and our anxieties that have triggered the nervous system, into noticing a real-time body sensation and what is actually real. So letting your arms rest in any way that feels comfortable. And if you're lying down, just follow along. If you're sitting upright, I'd like you just to, first of all, take the eyelids over the eyes. So when we're activated, the eyes, the pupils are dilated, and we're kind of searching outward for any perceived danger. When we take the eyelids over the eyes, we're asking ourselves to come out of that overactivated place. And then imagine that you could place little sandbags over the eyelids and let your eyeballs move back a little bit into the skull. And you can visualize or imagine that you had cushions underneath your eyeballs. Just let the eyeballs retract back and settle down. And let's move into present moment awareness and the shape of your body. A lot of this work is visualization, and of course, when you're in an activated place, the mind doesn't want to do that. It doesn't want to imagine. So I'm going to ask you just to take a deep breath in and exhale. Move in towards your imagination, your visualization. Even if you have a mind or a stress feeling that is still there, it's okay. Stay with the meditation. So don't leave, trust this. Imagine just above the top of your head that you had a red crayon. And I'd like you to draw an outline about 5 inches away from your body. So start going down the left side. So place the crayon at the crown of the head, top of the head, about 5 inches up. And then trace down the left side of your head, past your ear, slide it along the curve of the neck, and then over the bump of the shoulder to get down the length of the left arm. And then, just like you did when you were a kid, imagine drawing an outline of your hand, each finger. And when you're a kid, right, you don't want to make mistakes. You're hyper-focused. So see if you can encourage that level of dedication. And then whichever shape you're in, just keep tracing down the legs. And eventually the crayon will move over to the right side. And you can start to bring the red crayon up the right leg. Draw around your 5 fingers. Up the right arm, feel the straightness, lengthening of that right arm, and then you hit the shoulder head. So there's this little bump, almost like if you were in a car, it rounds a bend, and then the next bend would be the curve from the base of the neck up to the right side of the head, past your right ear, and then all the way back up. So you've created this almost cardboard cut out line around your body. And within this perimeter, within this shape, the next thing within the perimeter is all of the skin. So I'd like you to notice the areas where your skin is exposed. And pay particular attention to where it's exposed and each of the pores. Millions of pores in the skin. See if you can imagine magnifying those, and each hair follicle within the pore. Can you soften the pore and allow the hair to drop down into the follicle? So there's a feeling of kind of getting underneath your skin. Sometimes it's easiest to do this with the hands and the feet first. And then maybe you can take it to other body parts that are exposed, your face, the forehead, eyebrows, the cheeks, the neck, and then whatever particular parts on top of that. Each pore widening, relaxing. And then underneath that, even though we don't feel the blood and the fluids in the body moving quite as perceptibly as we do what is outside the body, can you imagine your blood as you breathe in, pulling in towards the heart? And as you exhale, releasing through the heart and down through all 4 limbs of the body and the organs. It's like a wave that is pulled back to a central point as you breathe in. And then releases out, floods out, flushes out as you breathe out. You may experience tingling, heat or sensation as you bring attention to it. And then there's another place that fluid is moving, even more subtle than the feeling of the blood in the arteries and the capillaries, is the cerebral spinal fluid. It runs from the base of your body, from the sacrum, the tailbone, up through your spine, all the way into the brain, kind of washing around the actual brain. And then as you exhale, like a washing machine releases its dirty water down a tube and out, you can imagine going down and out into the base of the spinal column. The nervous system attaches to the spinal column, so as you're doing this, imagine each nerve insertion relaxing a little bit away from the 2 sides of the spinal column, almost unhooking, so you're not feeling frazzled. It feels soft and gentle, helpful. Right? The nervous system is a key function to our survival, and there's nothing wrong with being a little bit activated, a little bit in the sympathetic nervous system. What we're working on here is pulling ourselves away from that end point where we can get stuck, that then becomes detrimental, right? Where we can't move the needle back to find its central point. When we watch the 2 movements of the inhale and the exhale, we're allowing that stuck needle to recalibrate. And we can feel the blood move in and out of the heart, move away from being fixed. And when we can imagine this fluid moving up and down the spinal column, again, that energy isn't over-activating one area and stuck. Now that we've softly coaxed the nervous system out a little bit, let's take a trip down through the organs. Some of the organs may have been activated during that moment of perceived danger. So I'd like you to imagine you have this little ball of saliva that is like a relaxing lozenge. Because I'm assuming that when you're listening to this, you are in fact safe and alive. And there may be things that you need to do. There may be concerns or anxieties. That's valid. But let's move the needle back so that you're in a place where it's manageable. You're in a place of pulsation, not being fixed at the end of the spectrum. So this ball of saliva, I'd like you to, this lozenge, magic lozenge, swallow. And as you do, imagine that lozenge going down the esophagus, the throat. And the first thing that it will hit will be the heart and the lungs. You can imagine like a golden honey, much like you would take for a sore throat, like a golden honey liquid. Let it spill out into the heart and into the lungs, releasing any constriction, tightness, place of holding. Let there be some movement in the lungs and in the heart. And then you allow that lozenge to slide further down and slightly to the left, to the stomach. And let it crack open and release some more golden liquid. This golden liquid is a reminder that you have a mind that may enjoy and be stuck in catastrophic thinking, but you have a body that is very real time, and the mind being stuck can lead to the body being stuck. So see if you can imagine that golden liquid coating the inside of the stomach and relaxing the stomach lining a little bit more. Checking in with what is real as opposed to what is being made up. And then take your attention over to the right side of the body and imagine that golden lozenge opening and allowing it to coat all of the cells of the liver. When we get stuck in the nervous system, it has a direct effect on the chemicals produced by the body that are designed to keep us safe in short bursts of danger. But when we can't regulate ourselves back to a middle point, we begin to marinate in chemicals that are not serving the body at that moment. So getting out of that fight-flight place through the body, and eventually you'll have more clarity. Whatever problem it is, whatever situation is causing you to get into being activated and stressful, doing this body work, this body scan, will allow you to have more clarity and more bandwidth to be able to address the problem. Now allow that lozenge to slide down into the small intestine, and you can zoom it around the small intestine. See if you can have fun with it, like zoom this lozenge from left to right, right to left, around like a helter-skelter, allowing its trail of golden liquid to, like a snail trail through the intestine. And then let it come to the base of the body and slide up the right side, the ascending colon, around the bend of the ascending colon and across the bottom part of the body, and then all the way down. Have fun with it, down the left side. Sliding back into the bowels. Just gently relax any tension around the sphincter muscles. When we're in a stress place, we feel contracted. All of the muscles are on. Sometimes they forget to turn off. So if you have a few that are still gripping on for dear life, tell them it's okay, they can release now. And the last thing that I like you to do is consciously move the upper edges of the lips up. Creating a gentle smile. We're just going to sit for a few moments here whilst your nervous system readjusts. And if you've been stuck in that place of fight, flight, stress, anxiety, it will take training and many, many times of coming back, doing a practice like this, to train it back to find its middle point. It is not a fixed point, it's the ability for it to move slightly up and slightly down according to real-time, real-life circumstances, not according to projections of doom from the mind. Let yourself sit. Give your body the time it needs. End of the day, sitting for a few minutes is actually, if you are in a very agitated place, you're actually increasing your lifespan just by being still for a few minutes. So You might be thinking, oh, I don't have time, but by creating a healthy nervous system, you have better chance of living longer. So this is a small coin in the piggy bank to a bigger picture. And then we're going to take a moment to come out of this practice. So drop your chin, let your eyes open. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. And bring your head back up. Noticing how it feels to have reset yourself. When we feel that we're in a healthy nervous system that can be activated and then relaxed and active and relaxed, it allows us more space to be nice with people, to be loving and kind and connected. So thank you for taking your time to take this, so important for not just yourself, but those around you, because we connect in with other nervous systems. So if everyone did this practice and could regulate themselves, then we start to create a healthier web for ourselves. Om Tat Sat. Namaste.